You know that feeling when you visit your aunt and she pulls out of her cabinet a very old cheap red wine and serves it to you?
I know that violence is not the answer, but yes it is.
Contrary to popular belief, most wines don't improve with age. As a matter of fact, the majority of wines that we get these days are best consumed within a year of purchasing. So how do you know whether to age or not to age? What determines whether a wine is age-worthy or not? Generally speaking, to survive medium or long-term aging, wine requires sufficient levels of tannins, acidity, and/or alcohol. Additionally, it must have intense flavors that will develop in an interesting way. It's important to note that wine needs to be well balanced to begin with the fruit balancing against acidity, alcohol, and tannins. Otherwise, it will never improve with age.
Have you ever heard the phrase, "You age like a fine wine"? Well, I think I'm aging like a bottle of milk. I'm getting very sour and a little bit chunky.
How can I know how long a wine can be stored for and when it is ready to drink? The majority of wines are best consumed within a year of bottling, and aging them would result in a loss of fresh fruit flavours. That said, there are many wines that can benefit from a few years in a bottle. Those wines were specifically crafted to mature, and they will not be at their best in the first years of life. The best way to know how long you can keep a bottle and when it will be at its best is to check the seller's or the winemaker's websites. Supermarket wines are typically crafted to taste best immediately upon release, and they should be drunk as soon as possible after the purchase. Don't keep them for longer than 1 year for whites or 2 years for reds. How does wine taste better with age? So you have found a bottle of wine that you can store for a few years. How is it going to change over the course of time? Generally speaking, this is what happens during the aging process. Tannins will soften, causing the red wine to taste smoother and rounder. White wine will become more viscous. Tertiary aromas and flavours will develop. Red wine will start tasting of leather, meat, tobacco and earth, while white wine will start tasting of ginger, hay, honey and nuts. The colour of the wine will change as well, with red wines becoming more pale and white wines becoming more deep. In other words, the wine will develop complexity of aromas and flavours and will change in texture, revealing an entirely different character that can't be replicated.
My experienced palate is tasting notes of consideration and homeliness.
Homeliness?
You do something.
It's jovial.
Elastic. Apprehensive. This one's a little apprehensive.
Like supportive.
Articulating.
Articulating. Yeah, articulating. Yes. It's good when you drink it fast.
Yeah, it's better when it's fast.
I hope you found this episode useful. If you did, please hit the like button and make sure that you subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye. It's important to note that wine needs to be well balanced to begin with the fucking fruit. It's important. The majority of wines are best consumed. What the fuck? And aging them would result in the fuck. No, the violence is not the answer.
But yes it is.